What is up guys, Nay here. Today we'll be exploring a potent Void Warlock build centered around the exotic gauntlet Nothing Manacles. This build emphasizes continuous grenade usage, health regeneration through Devour, and effective crowd control. Before I get into it, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to be notified when I do upload my next video. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. For our super, we'll be using Nova Bomb Cataclysm. This variant of Nova Bomb releases a seeker that splits into multiple smaller projectiles, tracking onto targets and ensuring damage is spread over a wide distance. For our class ability, we'll be using Healing Rift. We'll be deploying a Well of Light that continuously heals us when we're inside of our rift, enhancing survivability when we're chucking out all those grenades. For our melee, we don't have much choice here, we just got what we're given. It's okay. It'll make targets volatile and push them back. For our grenade, we're using Scatter Grenade. Upon detonation, it splits into multiple sub-munitions covering a large area with explosions. With the gauntlets Nothing Manacles, you gain an additional charge and enhanced tracking for the grenades. This will be the centerpiece of our build and will shape how we approach each engagement. For our aspects, we're using Feed the Void. Defeating an enemy with a Void ability activates Devour. While Devour is active, Final Blows restore health and extend its duration. This allows us to play a very aggressive playstyle, and it ensures that we have very high uptime on our grenades, our abilities, and also have sustained survivability. For our other aspect, we'll be using Child of the Old Gods. Casting your Rift summons a Void Soul that seeks out enemies, dealing damage and weakening them. Defeating targets being drained by your Void Soul grants class ability energy. This allows us to keep reprocking that Child of the Old Gods over and over again as we get more kills. Onto the fragments, we've got Echo of Starvation. Picking up a Void Breach or an Overpower grants Devour. This will synergize with Feed the Void for constant health regeneration. We also have Echo of Undermining. Our Void Grenades weaken targets, causing them to take extra damage. Echo of Harvest. Defeating weakened targets creates an Overpower and a Void Breach. This allows us to have increased ability regeneration, and it also allows us to get Devour after weakening targets. And for our final fragment, we have Echo of Expulsion. Void ability Final Blows cause targets to explode, dealing damage to nearby enemies, enhancing area control. This will allow us to basically have even more explosions than we're already going to have, and it will just make sure that our grenade covers a larger area. You can use any weapon with this build, but I have a huge recommendation here. This is one of my personal favourite weapons, Jox's Longsword. This is a Void Pulse Rifle, attainable through playing the Crucible. It features perks that really complement the build well. I'll be using Destabilizing Rounds, which will cause nearby targets to become volatile upon Final Blows. This ensures that we have extreme explosions and also just wipe out whole areas of ads. Additionally, I'm going to be using Dragonfly. I'll be getting those precision kills and that will create elemental damage explosions, further amplifying area damage. I will note, we don't have any way of proccing volatile rounds if we don't use destabilizing rounds, so it is a must with our primary weapon. For our mods, I will have a couple recommendations. You can slot in any other mods with these mods and the build will work just fine. For our helmet, we'll be using Void Siphon to create orbs of power. This will allow us to get Devour more frequently. For our gauntlets, we're going to be using Grenade Kickstart. For our leg armor, we're going to be using Innovation and Stacks on Stacks. For our class item, we're using Powerful Attraction. For our seasonal artifact perks, we're going to be using Void Flux. This will enhance Void ability damage. Maligned Harvest. Defeating weakened targets creates an additional Orb of Power. Synergize with Echo of Harvest for increased orb generation. And Volatile Marksman. Grants volatile rounds to your Void weapons after grenade Final Blows. For the gameplay loop, all we're going to be doing is initiating combat, putting down our Healing Rift to proc Child of the Old Gods, which will then seek out enemies and weaken them. We're going to start throwing our scatter grenades into enemy groups. We will have to focus on maintaining Devour, getting more kills with our primary weapon or our grenades or even our melees. Ensure that we're using our weapons such as Jox's Longsword, and we're just going to keep doing that over and over again. As you can see in the background footage, this build is very strong this season. You don't have to be using these bolt charge builds to do a lot of damage and a lot of area control. What makes this build so good, you can put any weapon in that top slot and any weapon in your heavy slot. This ensures that for the activity you can put on a sword, or you can even put on a rocket launcher with bait and switch and maybe even a scatter signal to pump out that extra damage when it comes to damage phase. In the background footage, I've been taking this build through the new activity. This difficulty is Ultimatum, the hardest difficulty. As you can see, the build is still plowing through those enemies. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.